Good evening, I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. With 1 month to go until kickoff in Minneapolis, fall camp is officially here. This morning, the Husker football team held their first of 25 practices before the season gets underway. Head coach Matt Rhule spoke with the media after practice this morning, where he commented on the impression the younger athletes have made on him. Listen in.
Yeah, I think that's the one distinguishing, really good characteristic. I mean, they're all, like I said, they're all, they're getting a lot of reps, and they're probably not used to it. So there's a lot of guys kind of trying to catch their breath. I think they're in pretty good shape. They're pretty knowledgeable. The challenge to them, all young players want to play. The number one thing that keeps young players from playing is their knowledge of the playbook. It slows them down, right? So I begged them at the end of practice, like, this is not my phone, but I was like, this will not help you play. Like, every minute you spend on this phone or playing the game does not help you play. Like, study your playbook. So that's the hardest thing. Like, very few guys will actually do it. Just is what it is, right? Like, but the ones who do, there'll be a couple freshmen that'll really buy into it, and they'll study it, and they'll be on a mission to play, and they'll help us, because the young players, we're going to win with the older players, but the young players can help us.
Coming up on the show, we'll hear more from Coach Rhule's press conference. In keeping with Nebraska athletics, but across the pond in Spain, the men's basketball team was victorious in their opening game against the Madrid All-Stars, 89-84 in OT. The transfer from Charlotte, Bryce Williams, led the Huskers in scoring with 28 points on 10 of 14 from the field, including 3 triples. C.J. Wilcher added 18 points and 10 boards, and Jamarcus Lawrence tallied 14. A more detailed box score can be found at Huskers.com. Nebraska will play their second game of the trip on Wednesday when they travel to Valencia, where tip-off for that one is set for noon Central. And some finals from the Women's World Cup group stage today. Japan topped Spain 4-0. Zambia claims their first ever victory at a Women's World Cup with a 3-1 win over Costa Rica. Australia moves past Canada 4-0. And for those of you patriotic enough, the U.S. women's national team takes on Portugal at 2 a.m. Central Time. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
He trips to the near side, rolls the pocket right, being hit as he throws down the field. The pass is up for in the air. Marquise Buford makes the pick. There's the first INT of the year for the Husker. Marquise Buford pulls it out of the air at the Nebraska 24-yard line. 2nd and 6, DeVito goes shotgun. Motions the tight end, so you have 3 eligible to the near side. A little screen to the near side. Huskers blow it up. Oh, what a play made by Quentin Newsom. Read that beautifully, made the tackle. It's a loss on the play of 4 yards. Snap back. They give it off to Anthony Grant. Picks his way to the left. Inside the 10, inside the 40, 35, 30. Breaks the tackle. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We are back, and we have actual football practices taking place. How about that? Welcome to another week of Sports Nightly. Hope you had a great weekend, the final weekend of July. How about that? Let's go.
It went by so fast, but yet I'm glad it's finally here. I feel like we've been talking about this for so long, but yet it's here, and it's like, wow, it's here. Here we go.
And I can confirm that neither you or I, we weren't invited, but we have not moved into the dorms.
No. We were not.
We're not part of that.
No, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm with Ty Robinson. I don't think I would.
Can you imagine him? His feet hang out over the edge of the bed.
Yeah, a lot of the offensive linemen. Yeah, they probably need double mattresses to hold them up. But yeah, it's been fun to hear them talk about that. And Fan Day yesterday was awesome and a lot of fun. A great turnout for Husker fans, and it was cool to see some of the reaction from, say, Jeff Sims. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. I think it was overwhelming for him a little bit, and so that's always the kickoff, and so you could tell they were in really great spirits, and so it'll be fascinating to see how this unfolds, because you get to a point in fall camp where you're sick of each other, and then here we are starting off in the dorms as well. So I bet they'll be real ready to hit somebody else by the time kickoff comes here.
Next week might get a little dark. They're fine this week, but next week they might be going, ugh.
I'm sick of you guys.
You're still a few weeks away from a game next week. And then you kind of turn the corner and you're like, okay, now we know we got a game closing in on us.
Yeah, when you really start going full in on game prep, I think you get a new breath of fresh air and it gets closer and closer. But, I mean, it's a day by day, but it does get to be a grind. I think by the end of that 2 week, the second week mark, it's like, okay, this is kind of long, but it'll be here before you know it.
Pretty cool that they've moved over into the dorms. Two really big storylines today in my eyes anyway. The first, and you mentioned him, Ty Robinson. Seeing Ty back on the practice field and Nick Henrich, and we're going to hear from Nick in hour number 2. But those were two guys that did not participate in spring. Two big, what you think will be big parts of this defense moving forward. It was just great to see them both being active and acting like there were no holdups for either one of them.
Yeah, and I think probably a little bit – when I talked to Luke Reimer in the spring, and he had mentioned how he kind of had some lingering issues that never, wasn't like he's injury prone, he just never stopped to actually get taken care of. And maybe Ty Robinson was that same a little bit, just didn't stop to actually fully get healthy and get his body right before he went out on the field, just kept running out there. You hear that a lot with football guys, but to actually have a spring where he didn't go out there and get right and do what he needs to do to be able to be fully healthy come a fall camp. And for Nick Henrich, I mean, I've said it a million times on this show, but when Matt Rhule was talking about when you tear your ACL, it's lonely. It's so lonely. And so for him to be able to get back out there and him saying, I didn't know if I was going to be able to play again, you can also see the joy in him and the excitement and appreciation for him to be able to be out there too.
Great to see him. And again, we're going to hear from Nick in hour number 2. The other story is on the other side of this, and it was reported yesterday because there were media at Fan Day, and they noticed that there was no Miles Farmer there. He has been suspended. He's not part of the 120. He's not off the football team right now. He's still a part of the team, just not part of the 120. When Coach Rhule was pressed about it, when's he going to be back? He said that's up to Miles. So, I'm disappointed in this because Miles has played an awful lot of football here and played really well at times. But even Matt Rhule today, Jessica, said, hey, I get it. It's hard sometimes when you've been in one system for this much of your career to then have to convert to something else. So that's disappointing to see that. Yeah,
a couple of things from that. I mean, I've made no bones about I'm a huge fan of Miles Farmer. He's been great to me. Andrew and I, we always talk about how fun it is to work with Quentin and Miles. They were the duo. They were inseparable. So I hate it for him that, this is where we're at right now and a guy that's played a lot of football. But it is a position group that even despite that, there's a lot of depth there. And so it gives an opportunity for somebody else to step up. He was going to be in a battle either way. But the other thought to that is kind of going back to what we talked about with Coach Wager last week about there's a standard and there's expectations, whether you've been around and you've played here and you've been a 3-year starter or you are a walk-on, if you're part of the staff, everybody is the same. The expectations are the same. The standard is the same. And so just because you played a lot of football here and you're a starter and they were looking to you to be one of those guys, you're not going to get, some leeway, and you have to abide by the same standards. And so if you don't buy into that, if you don't match that, then, you're going to find yourself off the 120-man roster. And that's, to me, I think that's, hey, the message has been sent. We've heard it from other, throughout the months that Coach Rhule and the staff has been here, but that's the precedent. And you better fall in line or else you're going to find yourself on the outside looking into this thing. This is a foundational year. Yes. And what I mean by that is you set the standard for everybody knowing this is how we're going to do things. And either you're in or you're out. And then for new players coming into the program next year or the following year, they're going to know, okay, this is what is expected of me. And so I'm with you. I think it does dovetail into what we talked about on Friday with the Bob Wager news, that there is certain ways you are expected to act and react. And if you don't, there's going to be consequences. And right now, Miles is feeling that consequence. And you have to lay that foundation this year. You can't put the genie back in the bottle if you don't set it right. And Matt Rhule and his staff have been through this. They've done it right multiple times, and they know what works. And that first year, you have to lay those expectations and kind of what you had said about it's different when you go from one system and one way of doing things, and then now it's completely different. I mean, and it's understandable. And I think that's why when he sat down and talked to those guys when he first got here, like, I want to coach you guys, but let's see if it's a fit, and if it's not, then we'll figure it out. But I just, you have to make sure that all guys are buying in to how it's done, and that foundation is just so critical, and you have to be strict and stern about that.
Marquise Buford not ready to go. Coach Rhule told us that Thursday in our sit-down interview in Indianapolis, so he kind of reiterated that today. Brody Tagliola's season is over. He went back home a week or so ago when the players were allowed to scatter for a few days, and he got involved in a car accident, messed his knee up. He's had surgery, so he will not be a part of this football team or not be a part of the actual playing team during the fall. And also, Josh Fleeks is overweight, apparently, according to Coach Rhule, which, man, that's really disappointing, because he, of all the guys on the team, should know what kind of the standards are for Matt Rhule.
Absolutely.
And his coaching staff. So that was really, to me, very disappointing to hear that today.
And again, just speculation here, but they check on these guys throughout the summer, right? They're going through workouts. They're going to the training table. So it wasn't like he just got overweight in a week. To me, it must have been something that they have been
battling with him.
Hey, you got to get right, or you're going to find yourself again, with being an example made out of you. And so it's not like this, he went home and completely got out of hand in a week. To me, it sounds, I would imagine, just the way that they have been on top of the guys throughout the entire summer. And I've been to the training table. I've seen Kristen Coggan checking them in, and they are on top of this. This is a well thought out process of how the summer was laid out for this football team. And so it's not just something that happened over a week. To me, if that's, with Josh Fleeks, that he came back overweight, it must have been something like, hey, you better get right, or this is going to be an issue. Again,
foundational type of year. Got to set the standards for these guys. And the door's not closed. We could see Josh back if he gets it under control, and you hope he does, because I think he could be a contributor to this team.
Well, not only that, but he's a guy that was very close with Garrett McGuire and was going to go with Garrett McGuire to Texas Tech if Garrett was going to Texas Tech. And so here's another guy that understands the standards, as you mentioned, so you're kind of shocked that this is one of those guys that isn't doing things up to the standard, and he could have helped. And when I talked to him this spring, he said that he felt the need and want to help Garrett in this situation in his first really big opportunity, because he believes in him, and he was, they were close, and Garrett was kind of his quarterback at one point when they played together. And so I know he really wanted to come in and help lead that room and show by example, because he does know what it takes, and he does believe in Garrett McGuire when other guys were still figuring out if they believed in him, because you get a new coach, there's that filling out period, right? But this is a guy that came in knowing that he believed in Garrett McGuire, and so you feel like that was somebody that certainly could be relied upon in that regard. But I mean, now Garrett's gotten here and got his got established with this group. And so I think they all believe in him, just talking with the guys. But here's somebody that understands what it's like to go through a football season with this coaching staff. And so you'd think that he would have been beneficial in that regard.
Yeah. I can hear people going, God, is there any good news? Well, folks, when you're dealing with 120 guys, that's a big roster. It's so much, different than a 13-member basketball team or a 12-member volleyball team. There's going to be certain things that pop up. So don't feel like this is just all going south. It's not. These are small things. Yes, you'd like to have Miles in camp. Yes, you'd like to have Josh or Brody. But that's the sport. And there's just 120 people in any school or whatever, you're going to have issues.
Well, we just heard from Coach Rhule on Thursday, and since then there's been news developed. So,
that's right.
So it wasn't like he came in and it's all bad news. It's just that's the news that happened, because the last time we talked to him, there's been things that developed that's what you have to talk about, and that's what you have to get addressed.
And Cole mentioned this earlier, but I think it's maybe a Runza diet that Josh got on, and it caused him some problems. We've had issues with that in the past. Those are so good, but they're very filling.
Except not for Jeff Sims, because he's never had one.
He hasn't had one. Good for Jeff. That's a winter dish anyway. All right, here's what we have coming up on the program. Our very first practice report of the year. We're going to hear a lot from Coach Rhule. He met with the media today. Tomorrow we're going to hear from the defensive coordinator, Tony White, looking forward to that one as well. But we'll get you a lot of clips from Matt Rhule's press conference earlier today. I did catch up with Nick Henrich. We'll hear that in hour number 2. Jessica talked to some of our younger Husker fans last night, their expectations for the season. We'll have some fun and play that for you in the second hour of the program. And we had our weekend winners headed away at the end of hour number 2. And, as always, we want you to be a part of the program. Our phone lines, 402-413-2400. You can call, you can text. The number works either way. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back with our first practice report of the new football season. That's straight ahead.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it into the corners. And even through storms, T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbrothers.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastriode fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or at astriode.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henrich is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Hey, Husker fans! Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in scarlet and cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
Huskers fans, we need your support in celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium while cheering on the Huskers this fall. Purchase an all-new Husker football Big Ten 3-game package today for only $100. This package gets you a ticket to the Northwestern, Purdue, and Maryland home games, all for just $100. A very limited amount of Husker football single-game tickets are also on sale. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase yours today at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbrothers.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. Last day of the month of July, but our very first practice report of the new school year. Hit it.
Let's go.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
All right, Matt Rhule met with the media today, and quite a bit to talk about. We referenced a lot of this in the opening segment of the program tonight, but here's kind of his opening statement about some injury updates and then some guys who are not with the team currently.
Brody Tagaloa. Unfortunately, Brody was in a traffic incident, a car accident, a single car accident, maybe about a week ago, a couple weeks ago. He's home in California with his family, recuperating. I FaceTimed him last night, and so he's, had a cut to his face, had to have surgery on his knee. We expect him to miss the year, unfortunately. Brody was coming along great, but he's got a bright future, and good things will happen for Brody. So he's with us. He's just home with his family recuperating post the accident. Jacob Hood, Jacob's just dealing with some chronic ankle stuff. So he's kind of a little bit more in just sort of rehab mode right now. That's why he wasn't there last night. He was meeting with the doctors. Miles Farmer. Miles was suspended to end the summer by us just for simple things, nothing major, just sort of some of our standards, and was not a member of the 120. So we'll wait and see how that all plays out. And who was it? Josh. And then Josh Fleeks reported yesterday and was significantly over his weight, so he was sent home to make his weight. So we'll wait and see how Josh does. So.
Again, we kind of referenced, Jessica, a lot of that. We did not talk about Jacob Hood. That's disappointing. He's the transfer from Georgia, big offensive lineman that I think Jeremiah likes. So that's disappointing that he's not ready to go when camp begins. Yeah, and just building that depth. I mean, how many times have we heard Jeremiah say you need a full 10 bodies of rotations because it's just inevitable that you're going to need some backups there. And so, I know he was a guy that I think they were looking to maybe fill that role, but hopefully he'll be back. Again, you don't want to rush anybody back and then have that linger and not be able to have him down the line in the season. Single car accident. That's scary. I'm glad Brody's okay. Yeah. It's scary to hear that. Yeah, you do not want to hear that. That's not a good thing there at all. Okay, well, the thing we dealt with on Friday's show was the resignation of Bob Wager, the Huskers tight end coach, and Josh Martin being elevated from an analyst role to now the tight end coach. Here is Coach Rhule talking about Josh now stepping up into a new role for him.
Yeah, when we first hired Josh, I remember one of the analytics companies, sending me, signing like, hey, great hire, and all the things he had done. And we've just been nothing but impressed with Josh since then. We've had Christian Ellsworth in that room, and Christian's a really talented young coach. So it's, kind of been a blessing to have him in there. But, Josh has done it. He's done it at 2 places. He's had guys go on to the NFL. And, I went out and watched his Indy today with the young guys, and you could tell he's been coaching a long time. So our whole plan and kind of building the staff, a little differently than maybe it's been done here before, was having a bunch of guys waiting in the wings. So as guys have opportunities and move on, or unfortunately in a situation like this, we have guys here. We don't have to go out and, hire someone new. We can go out and hire guys within the organization that, that know our systems and understand our way of life.
He's building depth in the 2 deep for this coaching staff, too.
How about that?
Just move somebody else in. You got somebody else waiting in the wings. But I think that was big about, with Josh, now he can, because he's been the special teams analyst, that now he can actually coach, because there's strict rules about that, as we know, what you can do on and off the field if you're just an analyst. And so the fact now he can actually be out there coaching, and he's coached tight ends before, and very good tight ends. I was reading up on some of the things that he did and some of the things that he says about the tight end, and I think he's going to do a good job with these tight ends. And he was at Fan Day. He was signing autographs. Very personable guy. I watched him interact with some fans, and so I think he's going to fit right in. It's obviously not an ideal situation, but he's also been around the program, so he should have a fairly good handle on some of the personalities that he's going to be coaching. Yeah, and I mean, all the staff is so bought in, as we've said a lot, and they're a part of everything. They're in meeting rooms, they're watching film, and so he's going to be familiar with whatever is being done, and we'll be able to slide right in. We mentioned earlier that yesterday was move-in day. The team moved into Selleck Hall, a dormitory over by the Union on campus. This hadn't been done. Maybe in my lifetime of Husker football. It's common in the National Football League for this to take place, and I don't know if that's exactly where Coach Rhule got it, but he talked about why it was important to him to do this.
Hey, I want our whole team to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Like they're not allowed to leave campus without permission. Like we told them, don't tell me your dog needs walked, or like you're here. So I think for me, it's we just have to get comfortable with new things. But more importantly, we're trying to build brotherhood, right? And so we're trying to build the sense of common purpose by getting to know each other. So having those guys over there, Gus and his people put a bunch of board games and cards, hoping that they'll maybe get off their phone and talk to each other. And then, we don't just play for ourselves. We don't just play for the football team. We play for the University of Nebraska and the state of Nebraska. And so returning to the heart of campus, to me, is really important. So I think it's that. And so it kind of divides camp up, right? You're in the dorms for 2 weeks. Then you have a week of kind of being at home coming in. Then school starts, and then we have 10 days before the first game. So sort of this 2-week grind. And, I thought the dorms would be a little bit harder. They're pretty nice.
Pretty nice. I haven't been over there. I guess they're pretty nice. You've had a daughter, right, that lives over there?
Yeah, they're fine. He was disappointed that they were air-conditioned. He goes, I wanted a sweat box in there, and...
Oh, man.
He's living in an RA room. He goes, it's a little bit bigger than the other guys.
I think it's full-on suite, probably. What does he think this is, 1975? I mean, there's AC in buildings now a day. Yeah. But, it allows for them that day-by-day, 1 day at a time. It really hones in on that. And, I go back to my conversation that I had earlier this summer with Gus Felder about, he was one of the guys that did not play for Coach Rhule. They both played at Penn State, but when he decided to make the transition from being a strength and conditioning coach into player development, he did a lot of research. All the talk was about the things like this that Matt Rhule does that is outside of just what you do on a football field, and that development and how you develop the culture and the chemistry within a locker room, that Matt Rhule was doing things that people weren't doing at the time, and so it was fascinating for him. And so I know Gus has been a big part of what they've been doing this summer and the dorms and all of that. And so it's just kind of goes back full circle and fascinating me. We haven't heard of this, and we haven't heard a lot of college teams doing this. And he had said that was one of the reasons why he wanted to really work with Coach Rhule, because he does think outside the box in terms of doing these kinds of things to help build a brotherhood within a team.
And Jessica, they did assign roommates, and it's drastically guys from different positions groups with each different. So you might have a defensive tackle with a running back, or a wide receiver with a linebacker, or a kicker. Yeah.
Which that's what I expected them to do, because that's how they did things all summer with their activities that they were doing. They were strategically putting guys in groups so that they were forced to get to know players in a different way, because when you know them outside of just in the locker room and you get to know them on a deeper level, then you want to fight for them a little bit harder on a football field. That was what Gus, his messaging was, is just, you know, that deep appreciation and understanding of the guy you're playing next to. It's a lot. You want to fight for them a little bit harder when you know them on that level.
All right, finally to cut 4, what did it look like on the practice field today? The coach was asked, what was the energy like from this group?
Oh, yeah, I thought they were great. I was really pleased with everything. You know, it's just, you can run all summer, but till you put a helmet on and then you take reps. And again, like, we're not standing around very much. There's, you know, even in a split team, so there's 60 guys out there, probably 55 guys out there had 2 drills going with 55 guys. So they took reps nonstop. So they were, at the end, they were gassed a little bit, which is good, right? But we were only out there with them for about an hour and 35, 40 minutes. So, you know, they're so focused. I mean, the older guys here are really focused. And I think they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I said to them, like, all we're trying to do is earn the right to walk into Minnesota with confidence. That's all we're trying to earn it. Like, one thing about being in Nebraska, it's a great place, but, like, we're all given a lot. Like, people care about us. Like, Trev gives us all this stuff. Like, we have scholarships. Some guys have NIL stuff. We get a lot of stuff, but they don't give you wins. You've got to earn wins. They don't give you wins. That you have to earn wins. And so I like the way that they have, like, a sense of, like, hey, let's get this done. And, you know, let's just talk about today. So I was pleased. I had a lot of fun out there with them today. I really did.
I think that can kind of be, as fans, and there's a lot of excitement with this new coaching staff, but he's really hammering home, just because there's been changes doesn't mean we're automatically going to go win, right? I mean, you have to put in the work and you have to do it one day at a time. I mean, that's the messaging. But yeah, I also thought it was fascinating too when he was talking about splitting up practice, because this is one thing that's new for him. While they have a proven method of things that they've done in the past, one thing that they haven't worked with is this big of a roster. Yeah. And so him kind of talking with Coach Osborne and figuring out how they're going to approach making sure that their players are getting the right amount of preparation each and every day, because they certainly did not have this big of a roster when they took over at Baylor. I'm glad you brought that up, because just for this week only, they're breaking the team into 2 halves. And the first half practices for about 90 minutes, and then the second half gets 90 minutes. And it's probably a lot of 1s and 2s with one group, but it's not a hard rule that that's the way it is. And so it's more time for the coaches. They're out there for 3 hours, while the players are only out there for 90 minutes. But they're only doing it for the next 5 days, so that's not going to be permanent, and then they'll get them all together from that point on. But it's hard to – and I've kind of argued this, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I think the roster has gotten too big. I think 120 is about the right spot. We were at 150, 155. To me, that's way too many bodies. It's just hard, because then you feel like you've got to give guys opportunities, and then you're taking opportunities away from developing other players. And – you know, but that's kind of what they did in the spring. If it was split up a little bit to get a sense and keep it pretty equal, and who stands out in that, instead of just putting everybody on the 1s, everybody on the 2s. Who stands out in those individual groups that are split pretty evenly between 1s, 2s, and 3s, and that's what they did in the spring. So I think they can take a lot away from which guys are really competing and separating themselves when it's split up this way. Well, when you're only dealing with half the squad, as a coach, you can spend more individual time with each guy than if you're having like 18 offensive linemen. Like you said, they broke it up to 10 and 8, so that's much easier for Donovan Raiola to deal really get some one-on-ones and then 8 guys. Yeah, absolutely. Much better. All right, we'll leave you with this. Somebody asked, Coach, personally, how did it feel for you to be out there coaching your first practice as head coach of the Cornhuskers?
Yeah, I was really calm and peaceful today. Like, I really felt a sense of, like, just calm. Like, for my, this is for my day one of coaching a team in fall camps, my 4th time being a head coach and having to be day one. These guys are just way further along than, they just understand what we're asking them to do. And the staff has done a great job. Like, Susan's worked every day this summer to get them. And Garrett McGuire didn't go on vacation. He stayed every day this summer. So, like, they're just the team's so much further along in terms of understanding what we're asking, that it just made me, I'm not out there having to be a maniac making sure every drill's like they understand where it's supposed to be. So I just I have to give a lot of credit to the players. I mean, they really worked this summer. And I'll say one thing. I think Billy spoke today, Billy Kemp. He's an edgy, tough, feisty dude. Like, someone wants to jump me, and I see Billy. I'm saying, hey, Billy, will you help me out? Like, he's a guy I'm taking into a dark alley with me. But I watch him out there with the players in the summer, and I watch him coach those guys he's always pulling a guy over and saying, hey, let me talk. So our young players are pretty much further along because of the culture of our older players here, and I really appreciate that.
I think it was a good mix of having some older players that had been here and played a lot of football here and are ready to take that next step and to win and figure out ways to win. Guys like Nick Henrich, Luke Reimer, Ty Robinson, but then you bring in guys like Billy Kemp, Jeff Sims, who also they meshed well, but then you have that leader. You have such older veteran leaders in every single room that are bringing the guys along with them. To me, that's pretty critical, is to have those leaders in each room and that are pushing those guys when their coaches are not around. And what are you doing throughout the summer to get yourself ready for this day? And it sounds like those leaders really took the bull by the horns and ensured that their individual groups are putting in the work so that they could be ahead of schedule.
Boy, to me, and maybe I'm the only one that picked up on this, the intensity in Coach's voice was much greater today than last Thursday in Indianapolis. He was kind of chill there, but you can tell he was fired up and glad to be out with practice actually going on.
I mean, you like talking season, but coaches and players get sick of talking season, right? And even now, to an extent, over fall camp, it's a lot of interviews that you're not having a game to play, but at least they're practicing. But, a lot of times it's, okay, we can talk about it all we want, but let's get out there and do it. And so there's a flip that switches, or a switch that flips.
That's it.
Yeah.
A switch that
flips.
Yeah.
For these guys and these competitors when that all takes place.
Well, there's our first practice report of the new season, brought to you again by the 1890 Initiative. We'll have another one tomorrow night. Defensive coordinator Tony White's going to meet with the media tomorrow night. So, folks, what'd you hear? Anything catch your fancy? If you have some thoughts about that, love to hear from you. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Also, we have time to tell you that right now, enjoy great value on outdoor power equipment with Steel, from gas-powered blowers, chainsaws, and more, to high-performance pressure washers built to tackle the dirtiest jobs. Find yours at STIHLdealers.com. We're back with some of your reaction to our first practice report. We'll do that next.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hey, Husker fans! The Lincoln Airport is the official airport of Husker Nation. And now, with 10 nonstop flights to major cities at affordable prices, it's easier than ever to help bring the Sea of Red to away games. Or to visit popular vacation spots like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Nashville. Visit GoFlyLNK.com to book your trip today and fly like a Husker. Go Big Red!
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Just wrapped up our first practice report. Dennis on our text line said, would you say a roster of 110 players for now, and during game week, the top 90? When the first depth chart comes out, how many players do you think might drop out? I don't know if people will leave once camp gets going. Maybe a guy or two does. I mean, last year we had a couple guys that left during the season. But you used to be the 110 that would report, and then the rest of the roster could start when school begins. The NCAA upped it to 120. I just think that's kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah.
We have more than that because there will be some guys joining us in a couple weeks.
Well, and especially, too, because now you're seeing with the NIL, you're able to maybe go after some walk-ons that add a little bit more. Maybe you can get a little bit more depth and talent there that's quote-unquote walk-ons that really add to the overall number that aren't taking away scholarships.
I just have always felt 150 was too big of a number. In fact, little trivia, people will get mad at hearing this name, but when the North Stadium was built when Bill Callahan was the coach, and so they designed the locker room, which they still use today. They won't use it much longer because they're going to move over to the new building. It was built for 120 players. So the last couple of years, we've had 155. Had a lot of guys that had to go dress a different place in the building because there weren't stalls.
Same thing with the
for them.
weight room. There's a lot of places that weren't big enough. So.
Yeah. So that's just my thought on that whole thing. One thing Marcus Washington, coach, mentioned, he injured a hand a few weeks ago, so he's got kind of a brace on his hand. He's going through practices, but he can't obviously kind of work on catching the football right now. They think it'll be fine in a week or 10 days.
And he's a guy you trust to be able to miss some time and come back and be able to be right there and be ready. You know, the thing about Marcus Washington is, you know, we're a lot of the conversations about the wide receivers or who's going to step up and be kind of the star, the playmaker there. And certainly I think Marcus Washington is a guy that can be a third down safety blanket type, which we saw out of him with Casey Thompson. But how many times did I tell you and Davison when he was in the booth or you and then Damon that Marcus Washington, they were bragging on him and his blocking and how he is able to pick up things that just you take for granted, I think, from a wide receiver. And that's why Jeremiah Searles, who does not like wide receivers, loves Marcus Washington because of the things that he does that's not always catching the football. So when you talk about him being out, it's not just as a pass catcher, it's also the other things that he provides to an offense that not a lot of wide receivers want to do. So, but he's going to do that no matter what. That's the way he's wired. He's such a competitor that he'll be good to go. And you know that he's a guy you can trust to be able to go out there and do the things that he needs to do.
I know some fans at Fan Day yesterday noticed that he had that cast on his hand, but not a season ender. He'll be ready. I think he'd be definitely ready by the opener for Minnesota. So he's on the mend, and apparently Sonny is on the mend. Your young pup has had a little infection, right?
So this is, yes. So I had to take her to the vet today, and great vet in Wahoo, Green Acres. They're great. But so we're talking about things, and he brought up something about, drinking standing water in the creek. And I did not know what that was. Is that standard? So then I asked somebody else from Nebraska that they call creeks cricks. Is that, what do you call it?
I call it a creek. But
that's what I call it.
I've heard people call it cricks.
Cole, what do you call it?
Creek.
Creek.
I think it's more common creek than crick.
Okay.
Crick's a pretty big southern term, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah, throughout Texas and
I had never heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Crick. And so I was going to ask you if that was what you called it.
I call it creek.
I said, what is a crick?
Maybe some of our audience are crickers.
I learned something new today. Now I'll know from here on out. But
maybe that's what they just do in Wahoo. Maybe that's the term they use in Wahoo.
No, I asked somebody else that's not from Wahoo that also told me that he uses the word crick.
It's creek. Now, maybe our chat room will disagree with that, but I've always gone with creek. All right, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Signing Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. Back with our final segment of Hour 1 next.
Experience a redefined car buying process when you shop at Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Our seasoned team provides exceptional customer service with personalized attention, expert advice and knowledge on vehicles you're interested in, and a streamlined purchasing experience. Shop our full lineup today and test drive the thrilling 2023 Genesis G70. This fierce and powerful sedan pushes limits with exhilarating capabilities and 4 available powertrains to choose from. Visit us in store or online at southwestomahagenesis.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hey, Husker fans! Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in Scarlet and Cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle.
And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Buckle up, folks. Put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here. Final few minutes of Hour 1, Sports Nightly on a Monday night, 402-413-2400. Let's go out to Mark in western Nebraska. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Great.
Good. I just was listening, and I wanted to clarify that maybe people call it crick because we're more of a Czech heritage, and that's how we pronounce things. And I know there's Czechs around Wahoo too, so.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. There's Czechs sprinkled throughout the state, so maybe it comes to that. I don't know.
And I'm originally from Wilbur, and Western's only 10 miles from there. And I've never heard anybody call it a creek. We all call it crick. So.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure. Oh,
right.
well, thank you.
Mark.
Appreciate it. I just want to make sure, hey, if I'm living here, I better call it what it's supposed to be called here in Nebraska. So I just wanted to get the thoughts. I just had never heard it called a crick. So now I know.
Corey in North Platte says it's crick in much of rural Nebraska. A guy from Michigan said it's crick up here. So, I mean, maybe you, Cole, and I are the oddballs where we call it a creek. And do you spell crick the same as you spell creek?
I don't. To me, if it's C-R-E-E-K, then the E's are long if they're back, right? It's E. But, I mean, I don't know. We got a lot of people weighing in that say crick. But, Cole, had you heard that before?
I never heard it until tonight.
I've heard it referred to as a crick, but I don't pronounce it that way.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of people say, I'm doing my wash tonight, not their wash. Or I'm washing dishes. I'm not washing dishes.
Here's another thing my grandpa does. He calls supper, lunch, lunch, dinner,
and
dinner, supper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've gotten in that debate, too, with other people.
So
about supper and dinners. You have unleashed.
I just, was
unleashed
wondering.
It here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, more people saying it's crick. So.
Well, there you go.
Now, Art in Los Angeles says, I am 100% Czech. I've always called it a creek. So, I don't know. I don't know. How about Bud Crawford? My goodness, was that a clinic the other night. He was phenomenal.
So I didn't have the pay-per-view, so I just watched and followed along a little bit on social media, but
he was
awesome.
surgical.
I mean, it was cool to see the state come together and support him. And in his story, I mean, we've heard it about people doubting his size, and he answers the bell every time.
Spence came out first for the kind of the tunnel walk for fighting, and he's got a whole entourage. Bud comes out, and the only person with him is Eminem, and I'm like, it's over. It's over. Bud doesn't need an entourage. He's ready to roll, and he did. It was fantastic. He is a generational fighter, and he's right there with the Alis and the Sugar Ray Leonards. He is phenomenal.
Is it going to happen again? Wasn't there talk that they might have a rematch?
Spence wants him to come up a weight class and fight at a bigger, heavier weight because he's a little bit bigger than Bud. Tell you what, how cool would that be to have a fight in Memorial Stadium?
That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right, hour 1 in the books. We'll come back. We'll hear from Nick Henrich. That's on the other side. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Husker fans! The Lincoln Airport is the official airport of Husker Nation. And now, with 10 nonstop flights to major cities at affordable prices, it's easier than ever to help bring the Sea of Red to away games. Or to visit popular vacation spots like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Nashville. Visit GoFlyLNK.com to book your trip today and fly like a Husker. Go Big Red!
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends.
over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbrothers.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Good evening, I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. With 1 month to go until kickoff in Minneapolis, fall camp is officially here. This morning, the Husker football team held their first of 25 practices before the season gets underway. Head coach Matt Rhule spoke with the media after practice this morning, where he commented on the impression the younger athletes have made on him. Listen in.
Yeah, I think that's the one distinguishing, really good characteristic. I mean, they're all, like I said, they're all, they're getting a lot of reps, and they're probably not used to it. So there's a lot of guys kind of trying to catch their breath. I think they're in pretty good shape. They're pretty knowledgeable. You know, the challenge to them, all young players want to play. The number one thing that keeps young players from playing is their knowledge of the playbook. It slows them down, right? So I begged them at the end of practice, like, this is not my phone, but I was like, this will not help you play. Like, every minute you spend on this phone or playing the game does not help you play. Like, study your playbook. So that's the hardest thing. Like, very few guys will actually do it. Just is what it is, right? Like, so, you know, but the ones who do, there'll be a couple freshmen that'll really buy into it, and they'll study it, and they'll be on a mission to play, and they'll help us, because the young players, we're going to win with the older players, but the young players can help us.
Keeping with Nebraska athletics, but across the pond over in Spain, the men's basketball team was victorious in their opening game against the Madrid All-Stars, 89-84 in OT. The transfer from Charlotte, Bryce Williams, led the Huskers in scoring with 28 points on 10 of 14 from the field, including 3 triples. C.J. Wilcher added 18 points and 10 boards, and Jamarcus Lawrence tallied 14. A more detailed box score can be found at Huskers.com. Nebraska will play their second game of the trip on Wednesday when they travel to Valencia, where they tip off for that one at noon Central. And some finals from the Women's World Cup group stage today. Japan tops Spain 4-0. Zambia claims their first ever victory at a Women's World Cup with a 3-1 win over Costa Rica. Australia moves past Canada 4-0. And for those night owls listening in, the U.S. women's national team takes on Portugal at 2 a.m. Central Time for their final group stage game. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The trips to the near side, rolls the pocket right, being hit as he throws down the field. The pass is up for the in the air. Marquise Buford makes a pick. There's the first INT of the year for the Husker. Marquise Buford pulls it out of the air at the Nebraska 24-yard line. 2nd and 6. DeVito goes shotgun. Motions the tight end. So you have 3 eligible to the near side. A little screen to the near side. Huskers blow it up. Oh, what a play made by Quentin Newsom. Read that beautifully. Made the tackle. It's a loss on the play of 4 yards. Snap back. They give it off to Anthony Grant. Picks his way to the left. Inside the 10. Inside the 40. 35. 30. Breaks the tackle. 25. 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly on a Monday night. We're going to hear from Nick Henrich here in a couple of minutes. Jessica talked to some young Husker fans yesterday at Fan Day. We'll have that for you later in the hour. We want to hear from you as well, 402-413-2400. I ended last hour talking about, I threw it out there, could Memorial Stadium host a Bud Crawford fight? Mike in the chat room says we need to email Trev. Did you see Trev's tweet, Jessica? Matt Rhule tweeted, had video of the end of the fight, and Matt Rhule just tweeted #GBR. Trev retweeted that with saying, "We will be ready, GBR."
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Well, it's already been done in PBA, so...
I mean, we've had Garth. We're having a volleyball match. I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool.
It would be awesome. Okay, so here's what we do. So we start the ball rolling with, okay, because you got to imagine that he'd love to fight in Nebraska again, right?
He's fought in Omaha and Lincoln both.
So they set up the rematch, and he goes up a weight class to be able to fight in Memorial Stadium.
So fight Spence here. Spence, if you want that rematch, you got to come to my town.
But I'll go up a weight class if you come here. How about that?
I know. You see, his trunks, he had Omaha on the back of his trunks.
It's awesome.
So, yeah. And Spence is a Texas guy, so that's why I tweeted, don't mess with Omaha.
Did you do your horns down?
I did not. I didn't want to get fined. But I did that at takeoff.
Hey, you're not going to get fined anymore when they go to the SEC.
Good for the SEC. Glad they're doing
You just
it.
can't taunt them, but it's no penalties.
Hey, it kind of seems like a natural fit, and I have not talked to Trev about this at all. I know nothing. I know nothing. But that tweet, I'm like, we'll be ready.
Here's the thing, too. So when we started talking about doing this thing inside Memorial Stadium with the volleyball, and you set the over-under, I think, at like 45,000. I took the over thinking it might get to 50. So
I didn't think it 90.
If you set the over-under, like I would imagine it would be a pretty good ticket. I mean, it would be a pretty good crowd. Would you set it at 50?
I would put it at 50.
Yeah, and I'd probably take the over. Because, again, when do you get to watch a boxing match inside Memorial Stadium?
The way this fan base is, I think they would go support it. So, all right, Nick Henrich, so glad to see him back on the practice field. He was attentive during spring practice coming off the knee injury, but he couldn't compete. Now he is. He's been cleared by the doctors to do that. Had a chance to catch up with him earlier today. Well, first of all, it's good to see you actually looking like you're playing a football game.
Yeah, man, it was so great just, strapping on the pads again for, gosh, it felt like forever. And, yeah, I'm just happy to be back.
Are you full go? Where are you in the recovery process?
Yeah, I'm full go, so I don't have any limitations or anything. So, obviously, we're going to monitor it and make sure the knee's doing good, but I feel great.
For people that maybe haven't been a part of a team like a football team, when you're recovering like that, there's a lot of people that are helping you get rehab. And that's got to be the case here.
Oh, yeah. We have a fantastic rehabilitation staff obviously the whole training room, you're going to spend a lot of time in there, but then you have guys like Coach Hobbs, who is a strength coach, but really another trainer in a way, too, because he does a great job modifying programs and working with us in the weight room. And then guys like Mitch just tracking your player load and making sure you're not getting too many reps. And all those guys and the NAPL lab and everything, it's all really, really cool stuff.
How hard was it, Nick, not to overdo it and push yourself too much?
That was really hard, yeah. It's really hard, but I think Hobbs and those guys did a great job of continuing to push you in different ways that was safe. So you still felt like you were working really hard and grinding just as hard as the other guys were. It was just a little more modified, if that makes sense.
Tell me about Coach D.
Coach D is awesome, man. He's a young coach, obviously, but boy, is he smart, and he does a great job of getting us to really play fast and physical. And I mean, he's just a super interactive coach, and he's out there like basically running with us and screaming at us to run to the ball, and like the first one to dap us up when we make a good play. So he's been awesome.
Do you feel behind, or were you able to absorb the calls in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, there's of course going to be an adjustment playing. Like today was my first day playing in the system, but I honestly feel really comfortable in it already. And I felt like the coaches and all the guys, I wasn't doing spring ball, but I was in every meeting and really locked in. So that kind of let me still learn the defense, I think, to a similar level that they did.
How was move-in day to the dorms?
Oh man, fun. Yeah, dorm life, man. It's a good time. It's cozy. Yeah, it's fun. Like, we're here all day anyways, but it's kind of fun to, just be together as a team, and it's just another opportunity to really have that bond. You know what I mean?
Do you have a roommate?
I don't know.
You're by yourself?
Yeah.
How'd you pull that off?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you why, but it feels like we're rooming with everyone, I tell you what, because everyone's always around each other, and, there's one bathroom on the hallway, so you see everyone, and it's just fun. It's a good time.
What was your reaction when you heard a couple months ago you were going to do this?
I was like, what? Really? Like, when? How long? Yeah, I was just like, huh? Why? But, I mean, it makes sense, because this time you don't have time for anything else, and so you just want to spend every second with your brothers, and that's just going to lead to more comfort out there on the field and more accountability. So I think it's really good we're doing it.
All right, you've been through this a couple times now. How critical are the next few weeks, and what are the keys for the defense to grow in the next 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest keys is just building great habits, like running the ball and getting your football legs underneath you, because, I mean, no matter how in shape you are in the summer, football's different, you know what I mean? So you got to really practice those habits of running the ball and just holding your teammates accountable and being having high communication.
Keep yourself healthy, would you?
Absolutely, I will.
He's like borderline giddy. But, I mean, I just know coming off that ACL just to be able to be back and playing, I know he's just ecstatic, elated to be able to be back out there. And it's a long process, and so it's so rewarding when you get to get back out there. But
I told him before we started the interview, something you and I have talked about, that Northwestern game partly changed when he got hurt.
him and Travis, when both of those guys, the offense, they didn't have an answer for him. And that was still when the offensive line was still working through some things. And so Travis was doing a lot, blocking and helping the line. And so when he went down on offense and Nick went down on defense, because you're running in guys that weren't very experienced, Ernest Hausman.
Yeah.
So they didn't have a lot of depth there at the inside linebacker. So I think both those guys going out really changed the trajectory of that football game for sure.
By the way, the Michigan players last week in Indy were raving about Ernest.
Yeah.
He's going to be a terrific player.
I mean, we saw it. We saw the flashes of it, and that's why everybody was so devastated. I mean, I thought Jeremiah was going to cry when I told him that. I mean, he was devastated. We saw him come along and the Nebraska kid, but happy for Nick, and his hair is pretty impressive. He's letting it go, and I saw Ty Robinson yesterday, interviewed him, and then now he's bald again.
Shaved it all off.
Just got some interesting hair choices
Ethan
going
Piper's
on.
got a pretty low cut.
Yeah,
So.
and he still have his stash going on too.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to see Jeremiah cry. That's not good. The head coach was asked about seeing Nick out there on the practice field for the first time, and here was his comments earlier today.
Yeah, I think Nick has a really he has a great spirit about him. You know, he plays for the right reasons. He cares about his teammates. Again, I'm one of those coaches. I always kind of focus on like the 4 or 5 guys that are being a problem, and I have to every once in a while stop and look at guys like Nick who are overcoming and doing everything right. So, if you ask the team like who leads and who they trust and all those things, they're all going to say Nick. And so it's a lonely road when you tear your ACL. I mean, you kind of wonder, am I ever going to be able to play again, right? Am I ever? And then when you do come back to play, you're always wondering, like, is it going to go again, right? So there's a lot of faith involved. Like, hey, I trust this process will work. I trust the trainers will work. But you're getting up at 5:30 in the morning all winter in the pitch black, walking across campus when it's cold to show up and rehab. So to see him out there is pretty cool, right? To see him out there and I hope he has a great year. But to me, he's already won because. Again, he went through adversity and he's battled back, and he's got a triumphant spirit, man. I know he inspires guys on our team.
It was such a good hire. And Corey Campbell talked about that. The strength coach that's the trainer too, that can develop certain things for individual athletes, not just individual athletes, but individual injuries that what is needed to get back to your best. And so hearing Nick reference that, because he was one of the first to really get to experience that and had his real full hard months of rehab back starting in January and February. And so I know Corey and even Coach Rhule had talked about that addition to the staff, and now we're kind of seeing that, and we'll continue to see how Nick has come through that. But just to have that tailored, because you have a guy that understands both the rehab of it, but then also the strength part of it, is just fascinating to me.
Well, and, all athletes who get hurt, after they get back up on their feet and are playing again, they have so much appreciation for those trainers and those people that work with them on a daily basis, because they see them at a low point in their life where you just don't feel like you're ever going to recover.
And a lot of them, they're motivating them. They're the ones that are helping them through it, and because it's lonely. It's a tough thing to go through, and so and then just making sure that they care just as much as you do, even on the days that you feel like you can't keep going. They want you to get through it, and so that it just means a lot to them. It means as much to them as it does to the athletes.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's go to the phones out to North Platte. Jim, good evening. Jim, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good evening to you and basically Jessica. I can't believe that it's Nebraska football season already. Hey, the reason I'm calling in, I'm trying to be basically realistic, and you know what? Even this first year under Coach Rhule, I would be happy with a 6-6 record. getting back to a bowl game. Anything above 6 wins, that would be great, great, great. Go Big Red, go Big Red. Thank you.
I think that's a perfect take, Jim, and I know some fans will say, well, why aren't you shooting higher? Well, you want to shoot higher, but I think getting back to postseason, getting that extra month of practice was so big for this program. And again, setting the foundation. I think that's a really good, realistic take.
I do too. And getting back to a bowl game, it's just so critical. I've heard so many coaches talk about a lot of times you get more development in that time than even you do in the spring, because you kind of been through a season. You got some of those younger guys that are acclimated a little bit more. Some of the older guys that might be a little banged up. So you get some more opportunities there. It's a really great developmental period. And it's just crucial to be able to have that extra practice.
None of the seniors on this team have been to a bowl game unless they came from some other school.
Yeah.
Like Ty Robinson, no bowl game. I mean, there's a lot of players who put a lot of time in here and haven't felt the fruits of that labor at all. I want that for them.
I do too. And you just never know. I mean, and Coach Rhule has been really realistic about not saying, hey, we have these expectations and we have to earn the right and all of that. But anytime it's a new staff like this and you're bringing a group together and you have this the schedule that you have with Minnesota on the road and then at Colorado, and just, you never know. And I think probably you just take it one game at a time. I know people that's a cliche kind of thing to say, but we'll see how it goes. But just when there's so much new, you just don't know. 6-6 would be, I think a lot of people would be happy with that.
Jim, good to hear from you. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Got a text about what can we expect for competition at the place kicker position. There's going to be. It's on. Timmy Bleekrode is back, but Tristan Alvano, the young man from Omaha West Side, won a state championship on this field back in November. He is impressive. It's going to be a battle in camp to watch those two go, and I think that's great. I think you want competition even at a position like that.
Yeah, and then you want to be able to have somebody as a backup in case
that's right.
something happens, or if someone's not delivering and has had a couple misses and you want to be able to go to somebody else. I mean, it's just to have some depth there is huge, because I don't think we've had that depth here the last couple of years.
Nope. Timmy, he can punt, and so he was the backup a year ago to Brian Buschini, who got hammered a couple times.
He was hurt the whole year. I mean, he had a lingering injury. I mean, that's what people don't know about Brian Buschini, is that he got hurt, and then he's over there, barely could walk, but was adamant that he was going to keep going back out there. And I don't think he was ever fully healthy after he got hurt. After that,
I agree.
Game 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was early in the season. Tim in Minnesota said, a lot of the Creek debate is like tomato to me, though my own personal logic tells me Crick is more on the side of slang. That's fair. By the way, I did go and find and buy some high chews at a convenience store. I like them. Fine. So there you go. You are turning people on to high chew.
I got the flavors in that I keep telling you about.
You should get your own NIL deal.
I know. Come on. High chews. Hit me up. I'm helping you out here in Starburst. I'd love to have Starburst.
Also, another text coming in. Can you guys update us on the tight end depth and Gilbert's waiver situation? They still have not heard on Eric Gilbert. They haven't gotten a thumbs up or a thumbs down on him from the NCAA. We did not get to do a tight end position breakdown. We had done an interview with Bob Wager that we were going to play Friday night, and then obviously could not play that. So hopefully we can sit down with Coach Martin maybe the next week or so and do a tight end breakdown just to give you some thoughts about that room. So we'll get into that. All right, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program. It's our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back to hear from some young Husker fans who were at Fan Day yesterday. We'll do that next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. The only designated R1 research university in Nebraska, UNL's innovations power economic growth, precision ag production, tech breakthroughs, and future leaders in Nebraska. With the highest graduation rates and highest median earnings for recent grads of any public university in Nebraska, UNL is doing big things for our state.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger. making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid materials with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn help take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Bring even more action to your drive when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can lease the 2023 Buick Encore GX for $299 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Explore our current inventory in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. With approved credit, $1,000 down payment, first payment at $299 doc fee, due at signing, must have current GMC or Buick lease and garaging address. Offer expires 7/31/23. See dealer for details.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend. Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble and a happier you just waiting to rise up. Find out more at Drink Bubbler on Instagram.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday. The place was rocking yesterday. We had Fan Day over in the Hawks Championship Center, and you had a chance to talk to some of our young Husker fans.
Yeah, the line was incredible. Nick Burkhart works at the Corn Crib, the digital crew. He did a fast-paced kind of walk along the line. He said it was just crazy how far people were lined up, and it was packed out there. I think that was the biggest crowd since I've been here, and really fun, as always, to see the Husker fans. And so we started this segment a couple years ago. I think it's kids say the darndest things, right? And so we decided to set out and see if we could get a season preview with the Huskers.
Hey, Husker Nation, I'm Jessica Coody, and we're back at another Fan Day this year inside the Hawks Championship Center. And as we quickly approach the 2023 season and the first of the Matt Rhule era, as we always do, we thought we'd get a season preview with the true Husker experts. Hey guys, how's it going? First thing, how you feeling about this season?
Good.
Good.
We're going to win.
What are you guys doing here today?
Getting the football players' signatures.
Why did you guys want to come out here today?
My dad told us to.
What about you?
I don't know.
Whose jersey are you wearing?
Mine.
Well, how do you feel about the season, the upcoming season?
Good.
Why do you feel good about it?
I don't know.
Hey guys, what's up? What are you guys doing out here today?
We're just goofing around, relaxing under the most air conditioning. This is where this is where all the air conditioning comes up.
Who's going to score the most touchdowns this season?
Nebraska.
You have a player that you think is going to score the most?
Nope.
All right, so if you are talking to a recruit that maybe is going to come play football here, what's the best part about Nebraska?
There's football.
Okay, who's going to score the most touchdowns this year?
Malachi Coleman. My coach.
Do you know who the head football coach is?
No. Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule.
Can you spell Rhule?
R-H-U-L-E.
Yes, we love it. Whose autograph are you trying to get?
The football players.
How do you feel about the 3-3-5 defense?
The what?
Who's going to score the most touchdowns this year?
Ty Robinson.
I love it. Ty just asked a fan who they thought was going to score the most touchdowns this season, and her answer was Ty Robinson. Your reaction to that?
I agree, 100%. That's all I have to say. I agree.
Why do you like the fullback?
Because he's a fullback. They lead you and block. They block and lead you.
There you go. Give some inspiration for before you head out to fall camp that all these people support you guys in the way that they do?
Most definitely. It shows us that this community believes in us and supports us. It just makes us want to do what we do even harder.
How much fun is this day for you guys?
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, it's awesome to come out here and see these guys. You get to interact with them right before the season starts, and especially when we get into fall camp. So I'm having a blast out here.
Go Big! Yeah! Go Big Red!
Yeah!
Go Big Red! Go Big Red!
And there you have it, Husker Nation, the best breakdown from the best Husker fans. We are 1 month and 1 day away from kickoff in the 2023 season, and we can't wait to see it inside Memorial Stadium. Go Big Red. If you could only see the cuts that didn't make it.
Sure.
There's some funny stuff there, but that was Jeff Sims that you heard at the end of it. And when I walked up to him, I said, how about this? He goes, I've never seen anything like this. It is just, he was blown away by it. And that's always fun to see, because sometimes when you have guys that have been here for a long time and they appreciate it, I'm not saying that they don't, but I think the first time that some of these new players get to really experience it, it's a really overwhelming but really exciting moment for them. And I also did ask Jeff, because we had a bunch of kids that answered the question. We had some Anthony Grants, we had some Jeff Sims on the who would score the most touchdowns, and I asked Jeff Sims,
about, hey, so I had somebody say Ty Robinson, and boy, I thought he's about to fall out of his chair.
It's a bold prediction, by the way.
I was like, I mean, that'd be pretty good if the
Yeah.
defensive lineman leads us in touchdowns, right? He goes, that'd be crazy if it did, but
All
it
right,
was,
you
it
talked
was
to
hilarious.
you talked to a couple of players in this piece. Jeff was one of them.
And Ty Robinson.
Ty Robinson.
Yep. Yeah. And Ty was embracing it, of course. I told the little girl, I was like, Ty will love that answer. So
Yeah.
I said, we got to go find Ty right now. And Ty, of course, he thought it was
bold
awesome.
prediction, really is. That is so cute. And through the eyes of the youth, we see the innocence, right, of all this. So that's great.
And the love for it again. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you can get so caught up and like, you know, I know people were probably not happy about hearing a 6-6, but you hear these kids, they just want to go get Ty Robinson's autograph, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just, it's so different when you're a kid and getting to experience this, and it's just the love of the game, right?
Folks, honk if you love trucks and bucks. It's the Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch ticket. It's back, and you could win one of 8 beautiful new blue trucks. Visit any Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk some basketball. Basketball in July. The Huskers are on the court. We'll tell you about their play today in Italy. We'll do that next.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Huskers fans, we need your support in celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium while cheering on the Huskers this fall. Purchase an all-new Husker football Big Ten 3-game package today for only $100. This package gets you a ticket to the Northwestern, Purdue, and Maryland home games, all for just $100. A very limited amount of Husker football single-game tickets are also on sale. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase yours today at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
Allergy season is officially here. Your home should be a place where you can escape dust, pollen, and other allergens. But every time you enter your home, you bring them inside. John Henry's offers numerous products to remove allergens and germs from your home. Call John Henry's today to learn more about our indoor air quality products to breathe easier in your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastriode fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or adastriode.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm sports media student Connor Clark with Campus News. More than $145 million in gross revenue has been generated by startup companies founded by alumni of UNL's Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program since the program began in 2010. With over 230 Angler Program alumni growing businesses across Nebraska, the Angler Program is making a big impact on the lives of students, alumni, and Nebraskans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
To Hogemeyer, local means something greater. Raise local raise right here in Husker Nation. Learn more at therightseed.com. I misspoke. The basketball team's in Spain. They were in Italy 4 years ago. They're in Spain this time.
And in your defense, we've had 4 teams go overseas.
The women are in Greece.
You had soccer, volleyball,
Soccer went to
women's,
Iceland.
hoops.
Yeah.
But I'm like, when they come in, I'm like, wait, which country did you go to? It's hard to keep them all straight.
Volleyball went to Brazil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they won today. They put an overtime game. They don't hardly have any players, Jessica, because of guys like Casey, who's with his national team, and Rinka's with his national team. But Bryce Williams was really good. 28 points, hit 10 of 14 shots. C.J. Wilcher had 18, Jamarcus Lawrence 14, and Cale Jacobson, almost a double-double, 13 and 9.
So I got to give a shout out. Andrew Dowdy last summer was going to practices, and he came in here and told us that Cale looked great in practice. And then I heard players really rave about him. And then when we had Adam Howard in during the season last year, he had said that Cale was really doing great things in the summer, and then he had a little injury that set him back. He ends up redshirting. So I think they're really, really excited about him. And when Coach Hoiberg came on last week to preview this trip, he had talked about there's going to be some opportunities for some guys to really step up. And so I'd love to see some of those numbers. You said C.J. Wilcher had 18. What I'm more impressed with are those 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
Because there's a time that C.J., he's kind of a little bit limited onto what he could provide. He was kind of a shooter, right? And then I think his game has really evolved, and I'm excited to see how he is, to see that he was crashing the glass again. Because that was something that I think he did a really good job of, or started to do a good job of last year. Some of those other things besides just shooting the basketball. And so for him to have a double-double, 18 and 10, it's impressive as well.
They won 89-84. It was tied at 82 at the end of regulation. So 7 points in the overtime period scored by Bryce Williams and Cale Jacobson. They scored all 7 points. Cale began the game as the center. He's 6'4", but Bryce Williams is the tallest guy they have on this trip that's playing at 6'7". So Cale plays center, and then he played point guard later in the game. How about that?
But I think with, because of with Bryce, you don't want to put him in another position, because he's not going to play center.
No.
With Rink and then Blaze, you want him to be at the spot that he's at and get a feel for what is expected of him in that role. So you don't want to put him at that center. So, hey, shout out to Cale. He had to do that in high school, right? He played a little high school that he had to play everything.
Ashland Greenwood kid, walk on the program. And like you said, we heard a lot about him a year ago. He did redshirt. Josiah Alec is not playing. Blaze is not playing. They're still rehabbing injuries, and Rink is off with the Netherlands team playing in an international tournament. So it's a small team Fred Hoiberg is dealing with.
And they're down a roster spot, so it's 8 scholarship players that are not playing on this trip. And Sam Hoiberg's not playing.
Right. He's got an ankle or knee or something.
And he's going to be a contributor.
Oh,
we saw it last year and probably could be a scholarship player, but he's absolutely going to be a contributor. And so for them to fight and win, that's got to give a lot of confidence to a lot of those guys. And Ramel Lloyd, I mean, we heard he's going to be a big piece of this puzzle too.
So they play again tomorrow. They'll play 3 games while they're over there. The women have been in Greece for a day or so. I don't know when their first game is. I think it may be tomorrow or on Wednesday. So we'll keep track of that. But great effort. And Husker fans love a story like Cale Jacobson, kid from a smaller high school, walk on to the program, but he's going to play.
He's a good basketball player, and he, when you grow up small in a small town, a lot of times you have to do a lot of different things, right? And I just know that they were really excited about him, loved the progress that he was making. He just had a setback with an injury, and so even at the end of last year, I know he was really coming along. And I mean, I just hear it every single year with those. We heard it from Sam Hoiberg, and how much you grow playing scout team because you're asked. Ramel Lloyd sat here and said that because you're asked to do things that forces you out of a comfort zone to be able to provide the best look possible for your teammates. And so it really helps you grow, even though a lot of people don't necessarily want that role. But if you embrace it, you can really grow your game. And I think probably Cale Jacobson will come to find was one of those guys that has his game really even take it to another level playing on that scout team.
Well, I think Coach Hoiberg, he trusts him. He believes he can help this team, and so he's going to get some opportunities. The women, I don't think, have the lack of body count. I think they're fairly healthy going over to their trip to Greece.
Yeah, I don't know if Allison Widener will be full go.
She may not be full go.
But they'll get Jess Petrie finally. I'm so excited. She is just killing it for Team Australia this summer, doing all kinds of big things. And I know they're really excited. Watch out. These 3 freshmen that they brought in are going to be contributors. I think they are really, really excited about them. If they can get, everybody healthy, and I think it was Logan that was battling a little lingering injury. If they can get them, I think these are going to be 3 freshmen with some bright futures. They're going to probably play pretty immediately. And Amy loves to rotate. She loves to play a lot of people on that bench. So I think we'll see a lot of names when they start playing here tomorrow or in the next couple of days.
All right, on our text line, Mike in Grand Island said 6-6, talking about football, should not make any Husker fans happy or satisfied just to make a bowl game. I'm 63, have been plenty disappointed for years, still go to the games, watch, listen, but it's been tough. Maybe with the in-state recruiting and some pride flowing down from dads, uncles, et cetera, we can pull some wins out with the help of some good thugs from New Jersey like the Peter brothers and the like. Mike, I get it. I understand that, and I knew when I said that. And in fact, I was on a Zoom call Saturday with the Northeast Kansans for Nebraska that Jessica talked to a year ago, and they want you back next year. They were disappointed in me. And they said, what's your prediction? I go, well, I think you got to try to walk before you can run. And we've been 4-8 and 3-9 and all that for 5 years. Yeah, I'd love to be 8-4, 9-3 this year. But I think if we get to 6, anything above that is gravy.
And it's fun for us to talk about, but that's just not the approach that this team is by any means taking. They're not even talking about game number 1 because they're just talking about today. And they do not want to look too far ahead because that's when you can get tripped up. But yeah, you're implementing a brand new coaching staff, new system. I don't know if they have the depth on the defensive line that they would like, or the offensive line, which we've heard them both talk about. Yep. That's something that's going to be a work in progress, and you have to have solid, deep on both fronts to be able to have some success in this league. So it might take a little bit of time before you can get, as you mentioned, you got to crawl before you can walk or run. And I don't know if it's fair.
You're throwing all those phrases out there tonight.
You said it first. You just said that.
No, I know, but you had that and you had with the other one.
The flip a switch?
Flip a switch.
I said switch a flip, but...
Switch a flip.
You have to... Can't put expectations on these guys when you're implementing a new system.
Absolutely. There's so many new parts to this whole thing.
A little bit.
Sam in Omaha. Jessica, will you be covering the volleyball game, then travel to Minneapolis after, or only covering football?
We'll be with football, right?
Yep, we will be. We leave earlier in the day. So I'm sad by that. I
I'm
would
sad.
have loved
Coach
to have been
Rhule
out
is
there.
sad. I think a lot of the people in this football.
I'm going to find some spot and watch it, though.
For sure.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're still waiting on the Big Ten TV, and maybe they'll drop it tomorrow at Media Days in Chicago for volleyball. We don't have the BTN schedule yet for Big Ten volleyball. That seems like a good.
Got to imagine there'll be a lot of Nebraska games on there because they pull in big ratings for that network.
Yep, they sure do. And last year they did like 56 games or something on.
Yeah, it was
BTN.
a record because they had twice, 2 years in a row, broke records of
Yeah.
how many volleyball games they put on broadcast.
Yeah. All right. The Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands, a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400. That's the number to call or fire off a text. We got our weekend winners after Cole flips a switch.
Purchasing your vehicle has never been easier with Woodhouse Hyundai. Right now, lease the 2023 Hyundai Elantra SCL for $305 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles a year. Plus, when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at WoodhouseHyundaiofOmaha.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $19.99 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip. Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, final few minutes of our Monday edition of Sports On. Let's head to the phones. Russ in Lincoln's up next. Good evening, Russ.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for taking my call. Isn't it wonderful that we are talking Husker football and we're only 30 days out?
You bet. No doubt.
It's great. Yeah, and counting down the days. Just want to preface this by saying I'm somebody that's been in the stadium for about every home game since 2013. And it's just really nice to see that we have a proven head coach with the experience at being a head coach. And he genuinely looks like he's happy to be here and that he wants to get after it and see what he can do. Scott gave us some great memories as a player. We'll always, thank him for that for sure. But it just didn't happen as a coach. But, just listening to Coach Rhule and, everything that he talks about and what he's about. And I can't imagine if I was an 18-year-old kid or 19-year-old kid, I'd run through a wall for that guy. He just seems so genuine. And I hope that we can all be patient, including myself. But I don't think we need to have a really high level of patience because we were in every game last year. And I know, we have a different quarterback and stuff, but I really think we can get to a bowl game this year if we can at least split the first 2 games and then, win a couple more. And then who knows with Michigan, we can get to 3 or 4 already. But I just want to say I'm happy that Matt's here. I think he's a genuine guy. I think he's all about the players. And I think he's going to be good for Nebraska.
Well put. Russ, thank you. Appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, and him talking about wanting to run through a brick wall for him, I think you could see by the number of former players that are on his staff that is absolutely hit the nail on the head. Because if you didn't want to run through a brick wall for him as a coach when you played for him, why would you come back and want to coach with him? And he's got a staff full of former players. So I think that's absolutely true. And yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. Take it one game at a time. And just, I think we got to manage expectations. But this team wants to win. They're hungry, but it's the year one. So. And
I guarantee you, they're not writing 6 wins on the bulletin board in the locker room.
No.
They're not thinking that at all.
They're not even going to win one right now. They're thinking win today.
Stephen Bellevue said, we've been rebuilding since Bo was let go. Let's all be patient. It's not the 90s anymore. I'd be very happy with 6 wins. Any more would be a bonus. All right, good sentiment to wrap up the show. Time for weekend winners. I'm going to start behind me. Cole, lay it out there.
Going with Terrence Crawford, his win over Spence, 40-0 now. As in the boxing scene, and I didn't catch the real fight because I couldn't afford pay-per-view, but the highlights on YouTube, pretty amazing. And I'm on board with you, Greg, about Memorial Stadium, him fighting in the stadium, and we could probably get tickets.
I think it'd be pretty big crowd, and it doesn't have to be Errol Spence. I mean, there's other guys he could fight. I know the Spence rematch is supposed, if it takes place, it's got to be in 6 months, so you couldn't do that in the stadium, but there's other boxers out there that probably want a shot at Bud, so well done. All right, Jessica.
Okay, this is a little bit random, but I'm going to go with Oregon head coach Dan Lanning, because in his presser today, he was asked about his reaction of Colorado leaving to go to the Big 12, and this was his quote, direct quote, "Not a big reaction. I'm trying to remember what they won to affect this conference. Do you remember them winning anything?" I just love it when coaches get a little salty on the podium, and he's coming in hot on one of his first appearances with the media. When is Colorado won to provide anything to this conference? How about that?
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going World Cup. They've got a couple of the nations, Jamaica being one, Nigeria, another one, that have won their first ever World Cup matches. That's so exciting for those countries where soccer is, or really it's king in a lot of those countries. And so for them to have that, pretty cool. USA plays late tonight. Cole and Jessica will be worthless tomorrow because it starts at 2 a.m., so they won't even get to bed till after 4 tonight. So you guys will have to give me a full report because I will not be staying up for the match.
I probably wouldn't make it either. Real quick, final seconds. We had another commenter in the chat that Malachi Coleman, about he got all the signatures from the kids and hung it up in his locker, and so someone said that the daughters were on that, so that was really cool.
I think a couple players did that where they had kids sign their cards as well, so that's really neat to be able to do that. Great show tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow. Tony White, defensive coordinator. We'll hear from him after practice tomorrow. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Take your adventures to new heights when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Lincoln. Explore our current lineup to find a luxury SUV that exceeds your expectations. Receive 1.9% APR for 36 months on all 2023 Lincoln models. The Lincoln Aviator, Lincoln Corsair, Lincoln Nautilus, and Lincoln Navigator provide a sense of elevated peace to every moment of your drive. Experience the power of Sanctuary in-store or online at woodhouselincoln.com. With approved credit, expires 7/3/23. See dealer for details.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next.